Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf, where we are here on the top level of Minas Morgul at Barad Kuron. And it's time for us to speak with Dolenthal. Thanks for helping those that you could, Pineleaf. I am not certain why Faramir has gathered us before this old hall, but I don't think that he has done so without reason. I'm of a mind to ask him, but I can't risk revealing myself at such a crucial moment. Would you, Pineleaf? Alright. I will speak to Faramir. I think that's one of the few times where we've had a legitimate excuse for the person not asking themselves. Because usually they're standing right next to them, they're on talking terms with another, so why not just ask themselves instead of asking me to do it? But in this case, of course, Faramir will notice her voice in a second. That's all I gotta say about that. Here we go.
Some of the Aediles visited upon this place cannot be undone. The white tree, scion of Telperion, we found hewn and burnt.
Well, that's awful, but what do you expect? What do you say, Faramir? Oh, yes, Pineleaf? He recognizes me, at least. I fear that Gothmog has laid a trap for us. If we were to assail the Tower of the Crescent Moon, would we not be doing exactly as Gothmog intends? There is foul magic upon this city, and much of it seems to have led us here to Uralrond. I know little of it, save for old tales, but it is said that it was once the great council hall of Minas Ithil. Yet, when I reach to open its doors, I feel some sort of presence resist me. Has Gothmog locked some evil away in Uralrond to be unleashed upon us? I can't be certain, but I will not allow Gothmog to gain the advantage through deception. I have seen great, terrible wars of dread throughout the Circle of Death. I know not their true purpose, but if their magic holds fast the doors of Uralrond, they must be destroyed. We must learn what lies within Weirrond. Alright, destroy dread wards. Oh yeah, those are the things that are being guarded by those first cousin once removes of Nazgul, right?
Let us not tarry.
Have you seen those terrible creatures being led around by Gothmog's cultists? Yes, I've killed a few of them. My men and I tracked them to the old feast hall, but when I went within, I can't even describe what I saw. I beheld the form of a great, headless creature gnawing at the earth. I do not know if it means to clear the way for more of its kind, but it must be stopped before it devours more of the city, dead or not. Alright, find the entrance to the racking. Well, I have to think on that one. That one's labeled small fellowship, so... But there's always a possibility of doing it, seeing how wardens are sometimes said to be a small fellowship all on their own. So I need to find the entrance to the racking hall, wherever that may be. Well, I won't rack my brain about that. I don't think that's a major location I can find. I am going to try back. The noise of it is quite irritating on there. And now, why did I kill a couple of those white cloaks before? That's it. They're white cloaks. See, I knew there was something terrible, but white cloaks. Ooh. Even worse than I thought. Alright, there you go. And let's grab this one. And fight them back here. That way I will be in the presence of the insufferable noise for as little time as possible. Yes, I can hear it from here. But it'll be much, much, much louder when I get closer. I have much better. Yes. Okay. Let's just. Too bad that doesn't shut it up. Those are a couple of rangers. Let's go and head over to well number 2. Ah, the Tower of the Toenail Moon. There we are. And of course there would be a rare mortar chest right over here. Now we can go inside, right? A watchful presence stands guard at the entrance of the tower, barring your passage, yes, barring our passage. Yeah, I had a feeling that. Let's talk to the watchful presence. The watchful presence regards you coldly, its malice coalescing before you, a solid wall of impassibility. You're reminded of the spirit of the watching stone outside of the cavern of Nargroth, but this presence has a different feeling than Zakharog. There was a mischievous bent in Zakharog's evil. Here there is order, a reverence for rules, and commands that the other spirit of your acquaintance did not possess. None but Girzul and their servants may pass, the spirit whispers in your mind, and you see an image of Gothmog standing before the tower, making known his pronouncement before the watching stone. The spirit in the stone serves Gothmog and will carry out his command. So, I am going to need a Girzul to let me through. Yeah, like that's likely. The watching stone says that only Girzul may enter, and their servants.
The spirit in the stone will only allow Girzul to pass?
Are you certain that we cannot force our way inside? Ah, that's not likely. Watching stones possess a strange power, and physical forces will not generally overcome them. Master Mithrandir can work some wizard magic to get us to the barrier, can't he? Unless you know of a Girzul that might be willing to accompany us past the watching stone, Pineleaf, I can think of no other way. Alright, I will speak to Mithrandir when I get through with this, see what he has to say. Oh boy, glad I had that noise out of my ears. Alright, I opened them up. It's done then? Faramir approaches the doors of Ururan and slowly opens one, emanating from a loud and long creak as it slides along the stones of Minas Morgul. It is time that we learn the truth of Welrond. It is time that we learn the truth. It seems whatever magic held shut the doors of Welrond has been undone, but within, all I see is darkness. And you? Faramir looks around the company. Dolenthal may accompany me within. I do not know what we shall find, but keep your wits about you. When you're prepared, I shall lead us inside. Alright, so it's Faramir, me, and Dolenthal.
For what reason did the servants of the enemy seal this hall? It is untouched by evil and disturbed only by dust.
Well, yeah, this looks a lot nicer than some of the other places that we've been to. I do not see any sign of evil in this place. It seems as if it were sealed and forgotten, but why? I wonder, are you saying then that these cat eye motifs that we see here, I assume that there was some sort of sign of Sauron. You're saying that they're not? Interesting. Well, what if we were not sealed out, but instead something was sealed in? Interesting. As yet, We have seen no sign of evil, but I still fear something. What would you ask of us, Prince Faramir? Let us all search Luron and see if we cannot find what eludes us. Alright. As you wish. Luron appears to be curiously untouched by evil in Minas Morgul. Alright. So we have to see if we can find anything in here. Some sort of clue. Some unswept debris. You find nothing of note buried within this old dust and debris. So the place is a bit dusty. I suppose it's been a few years. Hold on. I see something glowing up there. Maybe that's some sort of clue. A tarnished chair. Only the plated gold on this chair is tarnished. Can't have a very high percentage of gold if it's tarnished. Gold doesn't tarnish. Well, I guess that's Minas Morgul for you. It'll tarnish even gold. I guess I should have figured something like that. A dusty table. This table is covered by a thick layer of dust, but conceals no secrets. Alright. Anything around here? Nothing. Where else can I search? You think you spy something in the center of the console table below. I was there earlier. Examine the source of the curious glimmer. Alright, fine. Back down to the console table. What will we find there? Yes, we're about to find out. What have you found? Oh, that's what I want to find out. A small lamp fragment of the Lorien glimmers there. What is this? It is, in time of darkness and doubt, I send these tidings of hope. Our enemy is cruel, and his wrongs know naught of mercy. But I have seen the courage of my people, and thine proven many times. I have beheld Minas Ithil, and it wakes in my heart an ache that I thought never again to feel. Oh, you'll answer that question? I knew Gondolin of old, and thy stronghold is as like to it as any could now build. Some of the evils visited upon this place cannot be undone. Not all harms can be healed, yet much of worth can still be saved. Oft it is the way of men to destroy that which no longer pleases them, rather than taking the care to mend it. Yet it is my hope that some fondness for this vale endures in thee. For while growing things endure, with care we can wash the enemy's foulness from the land. Perhaps you're right. Prince Faramir, what is it? Oh, wait a moment. Eowyn? It is me, my love, and here I stand with you until Minas Ithil is healed. I did not wish for you to come to this place, Eowyn, but here in the darkness I can think of only of how much I have missed you. You are a woman of duty. None may turn you from your charge, and indeed, none should dare to. These are hopeful tidings from the Lady of the Light, though it seems that they were spoken long, long ago. Let us hope that they still speak of days to come. Let us hope they still speak of days to come. I suppose the time has come, Pineleaf. The time has come. I suppose the time for disguises is over. We're fortunate to have an ally like you, Pineleaf. Farimer's heart is lightened, and the end of this strife no longer seems so distant. Many dark days still lay ahead of us, but we shall overcome all the evils that remain in this place. You have done much for me, and for Faramir. That we have come to the end of things together is all that I can ask. It is a bright day for Gondor, Pineleaf, even in such a place of darkness. I had come to the mind of King Elessar that Minas Morgul might need to be raised to its lowest stones. Knowing what I do of the terror that still lingers upon Ithilien, even if Gothmog were defeated, I could not see another way. Yet the words of Galadriel have kindled in my heart a desire to preserve what was lost long ago. When at last we triumph over Gothmog, I shall plead to King Elessar to spare the dead city, that it might be restored to the hand of Gondor. Its stones shall be reshaped, and its halls rebuilt, its archives written anew, and it shall again be Minas Ithil. Whether you knew of Eowyn's deception, I will not ask. I must admit that I had begun to suspect for myself not long after we entered the circle of death. Lady Eowyn is a hale warrior, finer than many of the men of Gondor, and she need not answer for decisions made out of loyalty, or of love. And so that's why he chose Dolenthal to come with us then. Oh, and I guess I need to find a reward. Alright, we'll take the agility one. And that completes that. And that completes the circle of death, so I need to speak to Condor. Then after that I need to speak to Mithrandir. And that will bring things quite together. I think this mission has been about as successful as we could have hoped. You have done well, Pineleaf, and I hear that Prince Faramir has changed his mind regarding the dead city. It would be a shame to let Minas Ithil fall into final ruin by the hand of Gondor. It is good that he believes so as well. These are glad tidings, but alas, there is another matter to discuss. Oh, isn't there always? What now?
Let us hope you bring glad tidings, friend.
I have received troubling news from Tyne Orwath. It seems that Gothmog has plans beyond Minas Morgul. Word has spread of a place called Thuringwath, and I believe that the deathly cleft Falkirth that runs through the Mountains of Shadow might lead to it. I do not know what might be found in Thuringwath, but from what I have heard, it is nothing good. We have twice walked bravely through the lands of the enemy, my friend, but something about this leaves me uneasy. What need has evil to conceal itself in the lands of the Dark Lord? When you're prepared, write to Tyne Orwath, and I hope my dread is for naught, finally. Well, I will eventually go there, but I have other errands to do, and one of them is to visit Mithrandir. Hello, Mithrandir. I am back from the Tower of the Crescent Moon, and it appears that only Gurzul are allowed to enter at this time.
The watching stone outside Barad Kuron will only allow Gurzul to pass.
That may be a problem, my friend. The Ranger Anos did tell us that Udalkor seeks to gain access to the tower, but he seems unlikely to cooperate with us. And, as it stands, we do not know for certain where the captain of the pits may be found. There's also the matter that if we didn't learn Udalkor's location, Anos will not allow us to join hands with the hated foes, no matter what the purpose or duration of the peace. No, Udakor will not help us gain access to the tower. Is there anyone else? Certainly not Laris. Aha! We have no Gurzel close at hand, Pineleaf. But perhaps we can make one of our own. Make one of our own? How do we just make a Gurzel? I mean, that would be vile,
Nay,
right?
my friend, do not look at me with such horror.
No, I don't speak of performing Sauron's dread ritual. No, 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 no. The act of bleeding the men and women that became the Gurzel required more than just Sauron's Morgul knife, Guthok. It needed also a will of evil, and be glad that it is not a thing that we possess. But we do have on hand something else. What? That's Karazgar's mask. That's right. The weeping warrior dogged our steps in the north, Pineleaf, and he inflicted much pain and sorrow upon the dwarves and men. But he does not possess two useful traits. Does possess his reputation and his absence. Of all the Gurzel, he may be the most feared, a black Numenorian who moved with stealth, appearing out of nowhere to slay and torment before vanishing, leaving only the memory of a frightened visage, a masked evil. He captured dragons and brought them to Sauron, but it is long since that he has seen in Mordor. Rumor of his cruelties in far-off Rhûn have spread even here. I think the spirit of the Watching Stone will know the Weeping Warrior and his exploits in the east and in the north. And I think, too, that it will not have seen him in the long centuries, if at all. Were you to wear the mask, the spirit will no doubt see through the deception. Why, because I'm half the height that Karazgar is? Well, there is that. But if another were to wear it, perhaps one of the Kundalar, who rarely come to the Vale, who is to say what the spirit might think? And if Karazgar were to bring a powerful prisoner to Gothmog, the very hobbit who has proven so troublesome to Gothmog's schemes, would the spirit not allow both of them to access the inner sanctum? What has your friend Izorn gotten up to of late, Pineleaf? Is he still as wily as he ever was? Go to Minas Tirith and speak with the gossip monger Meldir just inside the entrance to the city. He will know where the Easterlings who come to Gothmog have gone. Come out of Goroth have gone. Okay. So, we are to convince Eorzan to wear Karazgar's mask and to try to convince a Watching Stone to let us pass through. Does this have any hope of success? Perhaps we'll find that out in the next episode of Complete Pineleaf.